All right, so we get a lot of questions. What's the best practices when an employee leaves the company? Most of our customers say, well, we're replacing this person with a new employee, so doing the same job, it's actually easier for me if I just rename the employee that's already in the system and change their password. The biggest reason not to do that is from a time perspective. If I just change the user's name, so we replace Bob, with Jim. Jim now has to go in and re-record all 5 of Bob's voicemail greetings, and change his recorded name, change his cell phone for call forwarding, change the number of rings before it goes to voicemail. There's just a lot of different settings that have to be changed in the system. And a lot of time what happens is customers call and say, well, we recorded all the voicemail greetings work fine, but when I do the dial by name directory and I type in somebody's name, I spell Jim, but I still get Bob's name in there. And it's because the name recording hasn't been changed. So we've came up with a 3-step process for dealing with an employee leaving. And then the next topic we're going to talk about is the new employee setup. So the first thing we should do, log into Director, go to our individual users page, and find the user that's leaving the company or has left the company already. And we want to scroll to the bottom and reset their voicemail password, because obviously we don't have a way to look up what their voicemail password was. So let's just change it to 1234 and click the Save button at the top to make that change. Once we've changed it, we can go ahead and provide that extension number and the password to the supervisor or whoever's over that department and ask them to check the voicemail of that user and either forward the messages to another person, delete the messages, and kind of just clean out that mailbox so that we can delete that user once it's completed. Pretty easy process. If a user walks up to their phone, hits the voicemail button, and hits the pound key, it'll get out of their mailbox and allow them to check somebody else's mailbox. So pretty easy process they can do from any phone in the building. Have them, have that supervisor report back to you. Say, okay, yep, that voicemail is cleared out. So in step 3, we simply log back into the user account, and we hit the delete button at the very top of the page, and and it deletes that user. A couple of things to note on that user: if you're replacing that user with a new employee, it's nice thing is to jot down the extension number and the DID for that employee. If you're going to reassign them to somebody else filling in that role, it's just nice to have the same extension number, DID. Just kind of jot those down so you don't have to look for an available extension number or DID to assign to that user.